in real life, I don't make eye contact.
Same.
I do sometimes on the podcast, but I think, am I autistic? What's the word for it?
I think I'm too
retarded.
Yeah, special needs. Gay.
I'm pretty sure that you have a way harder time getting through life than the average person, Ari. I don't know why anybody would listen to this. I know I won't.
Ari, your advice single-handedly broke up my marriage. You're an awful person.
You're 24 years old. Why would I listen to you? Why would you be giving therapy and advice to people who clearly need it? It doesn't make any sense, Ari. This is a horrible idea.
You're listening to
Unlicensed
therapy with Ari Mannis.
I think I'm too emotional. Like, I look you in the eye and I'm like feeling things, so I have to not do it.
That sounds kind of cool, though.
I guess, but
Have you ever cried on a podcast?
nah. Come on.
Some people would call yourself a podcast whore.
Yes, definitely. Podcast whore, stage whore, dick whore.
Ooh, you're naughty. What was your least favorite podcast of the ones?
Are we on? Is this your interviewing?
Maybe.
All right. Hey, this is the first time I've seen you off the phone in a conversation. Hey,
I am known for that.
Yeah, there was a couple times in the green room at Wise Guys. I was like, "Hey, buddy, I'm doing all the heavy lifting with these Utah queefs out here."
Yeah, I just you love talking to people, especially like new comics and fans. That's kind of your thing.
Sure. Yeah.
I didn't want to steal your. You're the headliner. I didn't want to steal your thunder.
Please steal in the green room. Steal my act, steal my thunder, steal everything.
Yeah,
steal
I go on my phone too much. You're right. You're right.
No.
Listen,
Look, I get it's easier, and we all want to do it. But hey, at some point, you gotta help. You gotta contribute.
I appreciate you calling me out on this, and you waited till the podcast to do it.
Well, you were just on the phone again. So
I was
that's why.
posting a picture of you on my story to get people to leave voice. Part of this segment is we listen to voicemails if they leave them.
Oh,
yeah,
and then you play them on here.
Play them on here. People asking for help. I spoiled it. I spoiled the segment.
Oh, well, I don't know.
And
what
then
they're
we
gonna
make
say.
out for about 10 minutes.
Great
on here.
All right, I'm down. Better than making out with Bobby Lee again.
Oh yeah, been there.
He's a touchy one.
Mo Mandel is staying with me right now.
I saw him last night,
and he was like, "Oh, this is gonna get a lot of listeners. Mark gets a lot of listens."
I really don't. I really don't. Sorry, Mo.
He told me you did his Jewish one.
Yeah.
And he said he booked you were one of 3 people he booked who he thought was Jewish, but are not.
Which I take as a huge insult. But no, Mo's cool. I love that people think I'm Jewish, and I enjoyed his pod. Jews don't get your due for the oppression. You don't get your like street cred for like being oppressed.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody's talking about Asians, but it's like, hey, I know like 9 people who hate Jews.
Yeah, we're like the butt of every joke.
Yeah. Well, you're successful, so you're allowed to be mocked.
That's probably what
sucks.
it is. Yeah, if I make a black joke, I'm canceled.
Right.
Someone makes a Jewish joke, anti-Holocaust joke,
Yeah, nobody
fine.
cares because you're doing so
But you know
well.
what? I don't care, so I get it.
Good for you.
You did Supernova while you were here.
Two of those last night. 7
Two of those.
9.
Did you do any other spots?
No, I didn't. I was running around.
At least
too
they were
much.
good ones.
They were amazing. I mean, that outdoor show. Shout out to Charles Greaves and Mark Saratella for having me.
Charles Greaves and Mark Saratella, good dudes.
Paid handsomely, by the way.
Oh, spill it.
Yeah, good money and food, drinks, the whole kit and caboodle, and great lineup. Your Jeselniks, your Ross, your Elizas.
When you're on a lineup like that, is part of you nervous that they're watching you, or are you kind of past that? You don't give a shit.
I'm only nervous because it's not my town, and I got to represent the.
You just don't want to make New York look bad.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm the only New York guy there. They're nice enough to have me, and these people. That's the thing about LA guys and gals is you have so much money. Not you, but they have so much money. They're so rich.
Why you say it like that?
What do you mean?
Maybe I have money.
Well, maybe the Jewish family, but I'm talking about
You're right.
your wallet.
No, you're right. I don't have money.
You lost money coming to Wise Guys.
Mm-hmm.
But they have so much money, and they pull up, like Santino pulls up in this fucking hot rod Mercedes, silver Batmobile thing. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. I take the subway. And so I'm like, all right, I got to bring it because we don't have any money in New York. We're all broke. We're all gay. We're all just writing bits and trying to have a new zinger. And apparently that doesn't pay the bills. And LA focused on what pays the bills. And it's pretty humiliating when I come out here and see people's homes and cars and women.
You have an old BMW. You're doing good.
That's true.
That's German. That's luxury.
That's true. I mean, it's an old beater. I mean, I bought it on Bring a Trailer for a couple
Most people in
grand.
New York don't own any car.
That's true. That's true.
You have a car. You're rich.
I know, but these homes, Ari, it's unbelievable out here. Like
You could
Bobby
get
Lee's
one.
beautiful in the hills. He's got like a Scarface view of all the
You're
the
in better
city.
shape than most LA comedians.
Okay.
Oh, your body. I'm gonna put it up on screen right now. Your body next to Jeff Ross's body.
Oh, thank you. That'll
Way better body.
Yeah. He's an odd looking fella.
He has one of the worst bodies.
Yeah.
Recently, I was going out with a girl, went out with her 3 times, and I ended things with her. Not to brag,
Uh-huh.
but I said, hey, this isn't working out. She tweeted on her Twitter with 4 followers. Not that matters. Not that I'm a follower whore, but she has 4 followers.
Sure.
And she tweeted, a guy with a potato-shaped body just dumped me.
About you?
About my body.
Wow. Body shaming.
Body shaming.
Imagine that the other way.
Couldn't imagine. And then a week later, she drunk dialed me. She wanted more potato-shaped body.
She wanted some spud.
Yeah.
Damn, she wanted that tater.
You are known as having one of the best comedian bodies.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I also heard you killed last night.
They went well, thank you.
Best comedian body.
Oh,
One of the
thanks.
best.
I mean,
How does that
I'm
make you
just,
feel?
I'm just thin. That's the whole
Does
thing.
this get brought up a lot?
Yeah, a lot. I'm just thin, and as long as you keep it skinny, because you're not fat,
No.
but there might be a little.
I'm like a skinny fat guy.
Yeah, skinny fat. So as long as you just lose that, the muscle is there. You're a human being, a male. So there is muscle. So that's the whole key is just stay thin. So I don't eat bread.
Now, are you ever concerned that you're too jacked to be a comic? Do you ever like hide your muscles on stage at all or
Well,
anything like that?
That's the like Jeff Dye was on last night,
Uh-huh.
and he's so handsome. It's like
So handsome.
striking. And he's like
Yeah.
6'4", and he's dressed all sexy. He looked like a vampire with a trench coat.
He's hot.
Hot.
Oh, yeah. I want him.
Perfect amount of facial hair.
I want to bring him home, introduce him to my parents.
It's crazy. And you're talking to him the whole time you're just going like, I'm a bridge troll. I'm a ghoul compared to you. It's all you can feel.
Yeah, you're
but-
right. You're not hot.
Yeah. So luckily, though, I get to cover my body. I'm wearing a jacket and yoga pants, and he's got to show his face.
But do you ever would you wear the shirt I'm wearing right now, or do you think that would show?
No, yeah, I can. I'm just a frame. There's no definition going on.
Yeah. When you Google the word is Mark Normand, which I have done because I was getting a picture of you off the internet. for
Sure.
this, one of the first searches is Mark Normand wife.
They got to see if I'm a homosexual.
So you probably thought, oh, most of my fans are dudes.
Yeah.
Well, they're gay dudes.
Oh yeah, I get a lot of dick pics.
Do you?
Yeah, DMs.
What's a lot? Like one a day?
Probably one a week.
One dick pic a week, just random dick pic.
4 a month, yeah. Just like, hey, gay guys, like, hey, cutie, patootie, Twinkie, whatever it is. Here's my dong.
I follow a lot of adult entertainers in the world on Twitter and Instagram because I'm a pervert,
Yeah.
and they complain about getting dick pics. Would you agree with their complaint? You say it's inappropriate to send a random dick pic, or you're like, yeah, it's not that bad.
I mean, it's obviously inappropriate, but I don't care. I go,
Okay.
I like to look at them. I compare, I contrast. Why not? It's not going in me. So I'm just like, And I think for a lady, they're like, this is demoralizing and you're treating me like a whore, but I'm already a straight dude. So I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Maybe you're
I don't,
straight,
I just favored them. Yeah.
straight adjacent.
But let me ask you about these porn stars.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'm a big porn guy.
I like porn as well.
Addiction.
Oh,
Maybe,
really?
Maybe.
Mm.
When does it become addiction?
When it's interfering with other things.
Okay, it's not technically not an addiction, but I feel guilty about it.
All right. Well, that's pretty
Yeah.
healthy.
Yeah.
I tell you, if you stop watching porn for like a week and a half and then you watch it again, it's like, whoa, you feel like a kid again, like a 14-year-old seeing it.
Yeah, you shoot further loads,
Yeah, that too.
longer distance. If
Yeah.
you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah, a good
I
load
am.
shot is big because you don't want to dribble. When
It
a
makes
girl's
you
excited.
feel like a man when you shoot
Yeah.
a powerful load.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
yeah, when you just dribble out, you're like, who am I?
Yeah, but the porn star, have you ever been with one?
Yeah, several.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Sexually?
Several porn women. But I kind of, I slide into their DMs a lot. Yeah.
That's like a fantasy of mine.
You never done it?
No, I've flirted, a lot of flirting, a lot of like, hey, I'm a big fan, DM, and I was so, because when you're a comic, you don't want somebody to be like, tell me a joke. I didn't want to be like, blow me, because that's their version.
Yeah. Well, I never start with the blow me. I'm
Mm.
very respectful. I usually start with a hey, how are you?
Ah.
Or a heart.
Oh, a heart.
Sometimes I'll just send a random heart. Just kind of, I put the feelers out. It's a numbers game. I'll message 100 of them. This is my strategy with all women, not just porn stars.
Ah,
It's just go big in numbers, see who is
interesting.
accepting. Hello, my little therapy patients. It's me, Ari, and I today want to talk to my entrepreneurs, my small business owners, my female listeners that sell their panties on the internet. I don't know. Do you ship things? I do. I ship t-shirts on the internet. I ship my children's book. I sell my old electronics when I'm done using them. And shipping, as you do more of it, becomes a big pain in the behind. Boy, is it stressful. But I use a service called ShipStation, which for me makes it a lot less stressful because they are the #1 e-commerce software right now online with more 5-star reviews than anyone else. They take the stress out of your small business. They give you deeply discounted shipping rates with all the major carriers. That's UPS, FedEx, USPS. You can compare which carrier you want to use, and they give you the same rate that you would get if you were a Fortune 500 company. Yeah, you who lives in your apartment shipping out t-shirts, you poor comedian, you could be using ShipStation and making more profit per shirt. Right now, just use my offer code THERAPY and you will get a 60-day free trial. That's 2 months for free of no hassle, stress-free shipping. Just go to ShipStation.com, click the microphone on top of the page and type in the code THERAPY. That's ShipStation.com, enter offer code THERAPY, make ship happen. I use it, you could use it. Support me, support ShipStation, and it is going to make your life a lot easier if you do shipping. Thank you. Enjoy the show.
Sure.
And then if they respond, game on, baby.
Yeah.
How are you? Who are you? When can we meet? Come over. No, get to know them a little bit first.
How intimidating, though.
I'm not that intimidated. I don't
Really?
know.
They're a professional fucker.
They're at the end of the day, they're normal people. I got a good size hog on me.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not that good with it, but it's a good size. I guess, I don't know. I'm comfortable in that
I
department.
feel like I'm the other way around. I got not a good size hog, but I'm pretty good with it.
I'd rather be you, I think.
No, I'd rather be you because you can get good.
That's
I
what
can't get
I
a
was
bigger
just thinking
dog.
that. I was like, I could train.
Yeah.
I could get better. And one girl I was with who was a porn star was training me. It's called
That's pretty hot.
it was hot. I forget what it's called, but to make yourself last longer in
Yes.
bed. Edging. That's what it's called.
Edging.
You got to do edging. Have you heard of that?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, you just when you're masturbating, when you think, "Oh, I'm going to release my seed soon into this tissue here,"
Mm-hmm.
you stop.
Mm.
You take a break, and then you come back at it, and you continuously do that. But if you edge too much, if you train too much for this skill, then you're going to have the opposite problem
Mm.
where you can't come. So there's this
Ugh.
balance. That being said, I'm kind of a premature ejaculator
Same.
overall. So
Same.
you just said you were great.
Well, for those the minute and a half, I'm pretty good.
Oh, okay.
But-
Yeah, there I'm good too.
Luckily, my gal's got a real sensitive clam. Like she's one of those you put it in and she's like, woohoo, which I love.
Those, yeah, that's love.
That's
the ones
love.
you marry right
Yeah.
there. If they orgasm easily.
Yeah, wow. But wait a minute. Hold on. Back to the porn star thing. I mean, have you ever fucked a Nubian princess, a.k.a. Negro lady?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
A black porn star once. Yeah.
Wait, black porn?
Yeah.
What? What?
Oh, I thought. Oh, just in life.
Just I'm talking about just
You
a
know
black
what's funny? In life, in life, I've had a sex with one half black chick.
All right.
Mulatto, as I don't know if that's PC or not. I learned it in college.
I don't know. Sounds like something at Starbucks.
Yeah, half black chick, but one porn black chick.
Wow, I'm gonna look all these people up later and then jerk
have
off.
a fun night. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's interesting. So that's what I've noticed too about DMing porn stars. I don't know if we're gonna keep any of this in, but
this is good
you don't
stuff.
think it's like too revealing of my inner
People know
perversions?
that about you. No, you got a dark checkered history.
Yeah, you're right. So when I DM an adult entertainer and they DM me back, even if we don't meet up or hook up,
Yeah.
it makes them so much hotter to me.
Of course, they're real.
Now I'm like, oh, I've chatted with this person.
Yes.
So now I have a harder. Now when I go to watch porn, I typically am watching porn of girls that I've met or talked to.
Oh, that's
and whatnot.
amazing.
So it's kind of changed the game.
I feel the same way with Stormy Daniels. Like, I never really thought about Stormy. She's not one I would click on in the porn site. But then, like, we're learning about the Trump, and she's in the news, and she's all over the internet and the zeitgeist and everything. So jerking off to her is way hotter now because you kind of know her, and it feels like you're getting one over on her because you get to see her having sex naked.
Yeah, you kind of. Have you seen her do stand up?
Oh,
Naked?
that I
clothes?
can't. That's a boner killer.
But you've never seen it?
No, I already
Neither
know
have
it's
I.
horrific.
Yeah, it's got to be horrible.
I guarantee it's horrific.
But I would like to watch it.
I would watch a minute of it just
a few minutes,
to
not
validate
her
myself.
hour. I would not like to watch her hour. Do you think she does an hour? What do you think she does?
I think she does a lot of Q&A. I think she's got a couple writers, and I think she does like a half hour and fucks around.
Do you think she sells more tickets than you or less?
Probably more. I mean, I would assume, more people have heard of her.
Do you? Okay, so you can't help, at least for me, I can't help but compare myself to my peers in stand-up comedy.
That's what we do.
It's a competitive, somehow it's very competitive.
Yes.
At least unofficially.
Oh,
or
it's
officially.
and
I don't
plus
know.
we're insecure, and we got to see where we're supposed to be a little bit.
Right, very much that. Do you have the thought sometimes where you're like, that guy, I wish I sold as many tickets as that guy?
Sure. But here's
Because you seem very secure.
Oh, really?
From an outside perspective,
Well, I'm also,
you're confident.
You're catching me when I'm selling tickets. This is the first time I'm doing well in my career.
Yeah.
So you've just
That's
happened
cool.
to see that. Yeah.
Caught you just in time.
Just in time for you to lose money in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you. And of course we all do it. But the old phrase, compare and you will despair. And I will say, and not to get onto the LA, New York,
No, I need this.
guzzling
This is a good
choo-choo
pep
train.
talk.
LA compares in the wrong ways. And that's going to hurt you in the long run.
What ways does LA compare?
LA goes, look at that car, look at that house, look at that money. And New York, we're going, ooh, that's a good bit. Oh, I gotta go right. I gotta do this. I gotta, kill like that. And I think we're all eating a shit sandwich in New York. We're all in the subway. We live in a shoebox apartment. There's a hobo
Right.
jerking
Even
off.
if someone's rich and someone's poor, you can't tell as much because they're all walking. They're all eating
Yes.
dollar slices of pizza.
Yes, exactly. Dave Attell looks, like an out-of-work umpire, and so, and then the next kid comes up, and he's great, and he looks normal. So it's more focused on the act. And I know that's cliche, and everybody shits on L.A., but I think it's true. And
No, I think it's true.
I'm going off last night too.
I think, and last night you were with at least the most famous LA householder. Maybe not. Yeah, but all those people have a good reputation for being funny.
But yeah, like Eliza's got 5 Netflix specials, does theaters. So you're like, oh, she's a big professional comic. But yeah, I think you guys focus on the wrong shit because you want that status. It's a very high school feel. I was not cool in high school, and I get the same feeling when I come here.
I think you're right. I think you're right a lot. And I've only been to New York for comedy one time. And I say to this day, I was like, the community there is more supportive.
Wow.
They watch comedy.
Yeah,
like LA,
yeah.
no one watches your set. They
Right.
just say good set to you when you get off stage.
Yeah.
They listen. They listen for the crowd for a minute to see if you're
Yes.
bombing because they want to see you bomb.
Exactly.
But in LA, no comedians are in the room. Very few comedians are in the room. Like, oh, I like that one joke you did.
yeah.
Oh, because no one gives a shit. They're all even more. Every comedian is egocentric,
Yeah, sure.
self-centered. But in LA, it's another level.
It's another level, and it's about the status. It feels like I want to
Mhm.
be a celebrity instead of I want to be a good comic.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but
I
like
think you're right. Overall, you're right. That's not to. I'm not saying there's no good LA comics.
of course there's
but
exceptions.
yeah, overall, I think you're right. It's a different mindset.
Yeah, like last night, Jeselnik went on, and I'm a fan. I like his stuff, and so I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna watch Jeselnik." And this guy, this other comic, kept talking to me, and I had to be like, "Hold on, I gotta hear this." And he was like, "What? You want to listen to this? We're talking." I'm like, "I know, but we can talk right. This is an 8-minute set. Just let me hear the new stuff." And he couldn't believe it. And that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about.
I think also there's so many more things in LA which contributes to this problem. In New York, there's stand up and bars.
Right.
That's about it. In LA, there's acting, writing. Everyone's got their show they're pitching. There's
sure.
so many Hollywood and TikTok. There's literally a TikTok community. In
Yeah.
LA. There's Saddle Ranch across the street here, which is like TikTokers and they're literally influencers. That's all they are. I don't know if New York doesn't really have a spot like that.
No, that
Yeah.
seems like the worst hang on the planet. Hanging out with
it's-
influencers and TikTokers.
And not just that, it's like 16-year-olds. But the reason I know about it is because it's adjacent to the Comedy Store.
Ah,
It's literally right next door.
got it.
But yeah. So
Yeah,
that's so weird.
and that's the other thing. I think I might have lost my point. But in LA you go, I've heard of that guy. I've heard of that girl. She must be good. But just because someone's famous doesn't mean they're good. We all know a lot of famous people. In New York, we go, that guy's good or that guy sucks before the fame. So I think in LA, it's like, that guy's big. He's good. You're like, yeah, but you've never watched him. So you can't even decide if he's good. But you just say he's good because you've heard of him.
100%. LA, I think people, if they're really bad, but they have that they're famous still, they mask it with like PC and altiness.
Ooh,
You know what I mean?
Interesting.
The worse the comic, the more alt they're going to be.
Uh-huh.
They're not going to be like a right-wing bad comic. I think. That's a theory.
I think you got something there.
Yeah.
But now we're going too inside. Back to the porn star thing.
Back to the porn stars. Love them. Big
Yeah.
fan.
They're
Slide into their DMs.
They're very similar to us, They're insecure, damaged. They need validation. They do it with sex. We do it with jokes. But God, I would just be nervous because the whole time you're with one, it's just like banging, sex, porn star, anal. I gotta get inside.
Yeah, you have those thoughts. But for me, what I've realized, and this is going to sound mean, but it's just what I've experienced. Most of them don't look nearly as good as they look in the videos. So they show up and you're like, this is just a normal chick.
Interesting.
She's not this goddess.
Interesting.
In the videos, they have a makeup artist. They have the right light. They have a lighting technician some of the times. They have now, editors. So they look a lot better 90% of the time on the videos. They are all kind of crazy. So they're all, they'll either be really nice to you or really mean to you. I've had a bunch of them on the podcast too.
Oh.
Plug.
I gotta
Go listen to the porn star episodes.
Definitely.
If you like Mark Norman, you are gonna love porn stars.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah, I've had porn stars on the podcast, so they're just they're not intimidating to me anymore.
Oh, good. Well, okay, that changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go on a date with a girl and she's like, I thought you were gonna be funny, you're not that funny. I wonder if they're like that sexually. Like, I thought you were gonna be sexy.
Yeah, or yeah, she's like, you probably thought I was gonna be sucking your dick or fucking you, but like, I don't do that on the first date. They overcompensate.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
bummer.
Sometimes, not all of them.
Yeah, because you know how a comic, Greg Fitzsimmons says this great thing where he says a comic is a superhero for 3 hours.
Mhm.
Like you do a killer set and you get off stage or at the bar, you're zinging, you're zanging, everybody loves you. But then if you ever get a girl after a show, after 3 hours, you're back to just being Ari, the Jew from San Diego.
The awkward guy
Yeah.
doesn't make eye contact
Yes.
with people.
that little aura has fizzled.
Mhm.
You're just back to whatever. And I wonder if they have that. But
Good
the thing is,
question.
we don't see them perform live. We just
True.
know them in our head. So I don't know.
I'm waiting for one of them to be like, come to set with me, watch me. I would do it for the experience. That'd be fun. I've never done that.
I would do that in a second.
I would even like to direct one for fun. I would like to direct a porno.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in one.
Anal. I mean, what do you do?
I think you tell them what position to go into. Oh, and their storylines. I want to write and direct a story. I think Tom Segura has been making porn for fun.
What?
Like fake porn kind
Shut
of.
up.
I think something like I know him and Bert spent a bunch of money and like hired porn stars and did something. but I want to make a real porno for fun.
Wow.
That's my goal. When I have $1 million, I'm gonna make a porno.
I think it's great.
Yeah, one of my goals.
I
also
love
would
it.
like to get a better car,
Yeah.
and I would like to get a girlfriend. Those are my goals.
Oh, okay.
So I should probably stop hitting up porn stars if for
Hey,
that
well, you
goal.
could date one.
Mhm.
These are great goals. I think goals are very
I don't
important.
want to do that.
You got to know what you're going after to get
Okay,
it.
what are your goals? As a guy who's selling out comedy clubs,
That was a goal at some point.
probably gonna, when the world opens up, do some theaters. I would imagine.
That's a goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all my goals were shit I've done. You know, I want to get on Conan. I want to go on the Tonight Show. I want to have an hour special. No one bought it, but I still did one.
Better that no one bought it, I think.
Well, financially, no, but I own it and I did it myself.
I think more people saw it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe a Netflix hour more had a potential
Sure.
for an equal amount of people to see it or more. But any other network, if they had bought your special, no one would have saw it. If you did an HBO special, a Comedy Central special, Showtime,
Yeah, Showtime's nobody.
you don't want to be on there.
Yeah.
Look at who was on there: Jesus Trejo, Brendan Schaub. No one saw their special.
Really?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
They're not selling out comedy
I
clubs.
didn't even know they had one.
There you go.
I mean, no offense to them.
No, I like both of them.
Yeah,
nice
nice
guys.
guys.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
funny guys.
Yeah. Well, HBO already wasn't. I mean, Showtime was already lower than HBO, and then
Mhm.
HBO nobody watches.
Yes, exactly. So Showtime, even less people watch. Comedy Central, no one watches anything.
I know. Think about Eddie Murphy was an HBO special when that came out, and that's on Netflix now.
Louis C.K. had some good HBO
Yeah,
specials.
yeah.
There are a lot of good HBO
Definitely,
specials.
those half hours were huge.
So if you probably, I think you said in the green room that give yourself another year before you shot another special.
Oh yeah.
But so in a year from now, I imagine for you it'll be Netflix or release it yourself again.
Yeah, I feel like I like now we're going back into stand up hard, but
Mm-hmm.
like Jim Gaffigan is so smart. Obviously, he's huge, but he does Netflix. He did Comedy Central, then he did Netflix, then he did Amazon, and I think that's the key. You gotta mix up your platforms because you want to hit new people.
He fun fact about Jim Gaffigan. This is real inside baseball. But who did Netflix, then he went to Amazon, right? Then he went right back to Netflix.
Oh, he did?
He was not happy with Amazon.
Wow.
Because no one saw it.
That's great to know.
Yeah,
I think he got a hell of a payday.
he did.
All
but
right.
he doesn't care about that anymore. I
Yeah,
don't think. I
he
think
doesn't
he's rich.
need it.
He'd rather get a bump so he could tour more.
Yeah.
I mean, he could already tour more, but get a bigger audience size.
All right. Jeez.
So there you go. Because think about this. Let's say you get $500,000 for a special. Let's say someone paid you that, or
Sure.
let's even say $1 million.
Oh, great.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money, but you
Take
get
out 20% for a manager, agent, and then another 10 for taxes.
Okay, so let's say $700,000.
Great.
A lot of money. Great payday, right?
Great.
But if you were doing theaters instead of comedy clubs, you'd make that money in a year or less. Like you'd
Less,
rather
yeah.
it'd be more beneficial to build a way bigger audience and make money on the road than it would be to get a bigger payday on your special from Amazon.
That's
From
exactly
Jeff
right.
Bezos, that rich fucking dweeb.
Yeah, he's hosting SNL in 2 weeks. What do you think of the Elon Musk thing?
I'm for it. I'm a big fan of Elon Musk.
I am too. I
Yeah.
don't get why everybody hates him because they're like, he's a rich cunt. I'm like, well, he's also inventing this environmental safe car. I thought it
Yeah.
was all about climate change, and he's coming up with ideas.
He's the closest thing to Iron Man.
Yeah.
He has this big sci-fi company kind
Right.
of that's making weapons and technologies. He's rich. He's like a eccentric billionaire playboy.
Totally.
I guess not a playboy. He's married with kids, but you know what I mean. He's a
Grimes.
badass.
Yeah. And
Grimes is hot,
oh, is she?
I think, right?
I've never seen that. Name is off-putting.
Yeah.
But I feel like if he was a guy in a startup, let's say a black guy who was fat and had glasses and trying to make it, everybody would love him. But because he's this guy, I think people hate him. I don't know, because he's successful.
He went on Joe Rogan and smoked weed. What can you do to be cooler than that?
I know, and he's already an autistic weirdo,
Yeah.
and he still smoked weed. I don't know. I don't get it. I just
You know
think
what it is?
They hate him.
When you reach a certain status, you can't avoid it. You have
Right.
haters. You're not
Yeah.
going to be beloved. But you could go on a Chappelle video on YouTube and someone's commenting in it, this guy sucks.
That's true.
You
Good
know?
point. Somebody has a funny bit about the Beethoven's Third Symphony, somebody's like, "Boo!" or "What a fag," you know, and you're like, "It's Beethoven," but that's
Exactly.
YouTube. That's the public.
100%. Someone's gonna comment on this video right here where I'm being pretty down the middle like a normal guy, and someone's gonna say the host sucks. He talks too much. It's my
Yeah.
podcast. I could talk the whole time.
It's inevitable.
Mark's my assistant today.
What do you need, boss?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they still listen. Like, I thought you hated me. Which one is it? Like, all these Reddit threads are like shitting on everybody, and I'm like, you wouldn't have anything in your life without this podcast.
Do you get any haters?
All the time.
Really?
Yeah, I think everybody does. It's inevitable because also it kind of shows you're doing well. Reggie
I thought
Jackson.
you were beloved by the comedy community.
No, I try to be nice and I try to be respectful and blah, 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 but I think everybody's got haters. It's going to happen. And the more successful you get, the more eyeballs you hit, the more people are going to go this way and not that way.
The times I get haters are whenever I do something of noteworthy that people watch, like when
There
I
you
did
go.
Theo's podcast or King and the Sting, or when I have a video on the Laugh Factory. Something like all the coolest things that have happened to me in my
Yes.
comedy is when the haters come
Because it's big.
because it's big, which is cool, but it also then makes me not that excited to do a really cool thing in a weird way because
Of
I'm
course,
sensitive.
of course.
So part of me is like, yeah, I'll do your podcast, but I'm about to get a bunch of mean comments.
Right. I saw
like
a
that.
big comic. He was, he's huge. We've all know. I'm not going to say his name, but somebody said, "Hey, why don't you hire more women?" He goes, "I've been sued 9 times by every woman I've hired." And you're like, "I just don't want to get sued anymore. I've never done anything wrong." But they go, "Hey, this guy's rich. Maybe I can get something." So that's exactly what it is. They go, "Now that you have something, I can take it." Like Kevin Hart's been sued, I don't know, 50 times. It's just part of it.
Yeah, the whole what was he supposed to host? The
Oscars
the Oscars, and then
Yeah.
he said the F word, the gay F word.
10 years ago.
10
in a
years
tweet.
ago, man, cancel culture, fun time.
I know, but now it's just weaponized now. Like, all right, I got the social media, I got the internet, I can put it all out there. It used to be some lady outside your hotel or your house going, "Ah," in a bathrobe, and now it's a lady who can actually get some traction. And then the Times goes, "This is scandalous, this is interesting," and then they pump it, and then here we are.
Have you ever had a lady find out, or a man find out where you live in New York and knock on your door
You know what's scary is I got robbed in New York, just a random like crackhead.
on the street?
No, my apartment.
Oh, while you were in it?
No, I was out
Okay,
doing shows and somebody broke in and stole a bunch of shit. It was pretty devastating.
Now, did they break in through the front door, through the window? How'd they get in?
Window on the fire escape.
Damn. okay.
Yeah. So pretty, I got broken into a lot as a kid, so it like triggered me and all that. It was annoying, but they caught the guy. They took fingerprints, caught the guy. But my girl at the time was like, "It's a fan. I know it's a fan. You got to stop being so, flippant with where you live, what neighborhood, blah, 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 videos on the street." And I was like, maybe she's right. They caught the guy who was just a crackhead who robbed like 8 other places. But my point is, I talked about on my podcast, like, well, I feel safe again. It was a crackhead. It wasn't a fan. Nobody knows my address. And
Mhm.
like 8 people messaged me. These internet wizards were like, "Oh, I bet I can find it in 2 seconds." I'm like, "Nah, you don't know where I live. Is this it?" I'm like, "Fuck, it is." So they just found it.
So your address is out there.
Yes. I mean,
Gotcha.
they can find you. If they can
Not
find me,
mine.
they can find you.
Not mine.
Yeah,
I don't own
exactly.
anything.
You don't own anything, but if they wanted something, they could find it. That's what's scary about
Maybe.
the internet.
I have a security camera that I installed myself outside my front door,
Nice.
and I put the most expensive electric lock on my front door. They could break through a window, but
Good for you, though. You're
I keep
very
it.
resourceful. You handle your shit, which I respect about you.
Thank you.
You
I'm a
lose
nerd.
money every turn you take, but you're still doing stuff and trying stuff, and you do it yourself, which I respect.
I'm going for it, dude.
Go for it.
I gotta get some sort of success before my parents die, so that they don't die disappointed in me.
Hey, that's a good
Because right now, if they
motivation.
died right now, I'm the black sheep child.
Yeah.
I'm the one where someone's like, "How's Ari doing?" They're like, he's still in LA.
Oh, is your brother
doing
and
that
sister doing
thing.
well?
Not well, but they're at least on a path,
Sure,
My
sure.
brother is in a master's program at USC. My youngest brother's in college, so they still have hope. for
Got
them,
it. Got
not
it.
me. But oh no, one of my brothers is gay, so I guess
Aha.
I'm the second favorite.
There you go.
Yeah.
Good to be back. And he couldn't even
Yeah.
choose that, so you got a gimme.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
But
yeah.
I'm gay on Facebook.
Smart. Good for the career.
Yeah, I post a lot about my husband there.
A married gay.
Yeah, married gay guy.
Still don't approve of it.
Progressive. I'm
Yeah.
an ally.
All right.
Mhm.
Well, I think my parents were not into it for like 8 years of me doing stand-up. So I get it. I totally get it. And my brother's a genius, and my parents are very intellectual, and they read books and drink good wine and listen to classical music. So me telling dick jokes in Omaha is like,
Was there
bummer.
something you accomplished that made them turn around? Like if your first late night set or something like that?
that helped because they can show that to people.
Yeah.
Because, I got in the cellar. They go, the whose cellar? The wine cellar? What are you talking about? I'm like, oh, yeah, you don't get it. But they don't realize that's a big deal. And that's not
Yeah.
their fault. Why should they?
Yeah.
That'd be weird if they were like, the cellar, well, Colin Quinn.
I think that for me too, even though I don't even necessarily care about doing a late night set that much, that would be, if I did a late night set, my parents would be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
And as much as we shit on them and as much as nobody watches it, as much as they're antiquated and fading away, you go to a website of a comedy club and it says, who's coming up? And there's a photo or a video of you on Conan. It still validifies you. Is that a word?
Agreed.
Validify? Yeah.
Validates?
Validates?
I don't know.
Yeah. It's still, it's like, oh, this guy is a pro.
Mhm.
He's on Conan. Even though nobody saw it and nobody cared and it paid $800.
Yeah.
It still helps you there. So I think it's worth doing.
I'm going to be
and
clean. I'm going to get one.
You got to do it.
I'm going to clean so I can submit for one at least.
He's doing a podcast now, so who knows if the show has comics.
Oh, true. Well, one of the other ones. There'll always
Okay.
be some TV late night type of set to submit for.
Yeah, boy, it's got to suck to be a late night. It feels like you're in a sinking ship and you're just pouring the water out real quick. Come on, you got a coffee can, like,
But they're
scooping it
so
out.
rich. If they all got their contracts canceled right now, they all have like $100 million. Jimmy Kimmel, Fallon, James Corden.
I agree,
Conan.
but they don't care. I don't think it's the money. They've already accepted that. They've been rich for 20, 30 years already,
Mhm.
millionaires. So they're like, I need to be
Relevant.
relevant, and I need to be like, I used to open for Seinfeld, and he would be like, thank God for comics and cars, man. I don't know where I'd be. I'm like, I think you'd be fine. Your show comes on 9
yeah,
times
you'd
a
have
day.
$1 billion.
Yeah, you're
your
sleeping
bank
on a
account.
pile of cash. You got 38 Porsches, but he's like, yeah, but it's about being relevant. You don't want to be the old guy with the sitcom. It's like when you meet a guy with a Letterman credit. You're like, ugh, a little geezer over
Conan's
here.
podcast too. I hate to say this, or I guess I like to say it. It's really good.
Oh, is it?
He's really funny.
Oh, great.
Yeah, Conan's podcast is great.
Well, he was the funniest late night guy.
Yeah,
hands down.
I listened to it and I was like kind of wanting to hate it because like, oh great,
Yeah.
the late night guy's starting a podcast. Everyone has a
Exactly.
podcast. It was really funny.
All
way,
right.
way better podcaster than me.
He's the coolest guy, most fun, normal guy. Like Jimmy Kimmel, I loved, but then he's crying on TV, and you're like, "What's going on here?" So that he lost me there. I like the blackface Jimmy Kimmel better than the crying Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, he used to be edgy.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
He
No
was
more.
a comic. He was
I like-
normal.
I like the little kids reacting on
That's
Halloween. video.
brilliant.
That's pretty fun.
And the mean tweets is brilliant.
Yeah, the mean tweets is fun.
But he's got a movie called Windy City Heat.
Oh, I love that with
It's
Don Barris.
unbelievable.
Have you met Don Barris at
Oh,
the
yeah.
Comedy Store? Legend.
Legend.
Underrated movie. No one's seen it.
Brilliant.
So good. Windy City Heat. Classic.
Classic comedy. I'm howling. I'm watching in a hotel room, just howling alone. It's so smart.
You
and
know what it
interesting.
kind of is? It's like the new Eric Andre Borat style movie. It's kind of like
yes.
that first iteration of that ahead of its time. I think.
Completely. The whole movie's a sham. They're tricking this one
Mhm.
guy. The whole thing's a prank. I mean, he's like this prank genius, Jimmy
Yeah.
Kimmel. And it was just, I've never seen anything like it. And yeah, you're right. It's very Eric Andre, very kind of jackassy
Mhm.
and different. By the way, we got to give a shout out to Eric Andre. That movie was fun as hell.
Best movie I've seen all year.
Yeah.
For comedy, at least in comedy.
What a smart take.
Yeah.
I feel like he's the new Buster Keaton because he's willing to just go get weird and get hurt in these situations. The car's exploding and he's climbing out of it.
And you know who else did a good performance? Who I usually don't off camera talk very fondly of? Tiffany Haddish was great in that movie.
Completely. She was. I heard a side note. She was an add-in. Like she heard about the movie
And wanted to be part
was
of it.
like, you got to get me in, and they just put her in, and she did like 2 days of shooting and killed it.
She killed it.
Killed
she was,
it.
She was really good in that movie too. Do you have any issues in your life that I could help you with as a therapist?
Oh, geez, we really changed the page there. Let's see. Insecure. Worried about my hair thinning.
Oh, I got that too. I
You-
took Propecia for a year. I stopped because I'm lazy.
What?
Yeah.
Lazy? Just keep going.
You have to take a pill every day.
Yeah.
I was missing a lot of days because
Oh,
of forgetting or whatever. And then I'm like, well, if I can't commit to doing it every day, I might as well stop. So my
Right.
new plan is to bald as much as I can
Yeah.
and then get plugs.
Seriously?
Yeah, we have about 5 friends that
Really?
have plugs, and you could never tell.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, Kimmel, Seth MacFarlane, Joel McHale.
I didn't even know. Oh, yeah, Joel McHale I heard about.
If
The other ones I
you-
didn't even know.
Google it.
Yeah.
The images are wild.
Yeah.
Seth
Here, I'll edit
MacFarlane
these out.
especially.
I'll edit these out and say them. We are back with another sponsor, and this is officially the longest running sponsor on Unlicensed Therapy, the podcast. And I am happy to have them because I use it all the time. It is a 2-ounce energy shot called Magic Mind. That's magicmind.co. It is an amazing little drink. I don't have any to show you because I drank them all. I just emailed them today. They are sending me another case. Hey, I hope they send me 2 more cases because I fly through them. And this drink has matcha in it, which is good and it keeps you focused. It has nootropics, lion's mane mushrooms, honey to make it taste sweet, adaptogens, and it has all these other big words that I don't know what they mean, but I know, I'll tell you what I do know. I don't know what the words mean. I do know it is good for you, way better for you than coffee. I do know when I take it, I feel more energy and get more things done. It's 2 days for me. There's days where I don't take Magic Mind, and there's days where I do. And the days that I do, I feel a lot better. And I'll tell you, as soon as I ran out, I ordered more. So right now, you can go to magicmind.co and use the promo code ARI, A-R-I. That's magicmind.co. Use the promo code ARI, get yourself a little discount. And let me tell you something. People at Google use Magic Mind, Slack, Airbnb, Superhuman, all these incredible tech companies, they're drinking Magic Mind there. They have them at the offices. And the reason they do is because it makes their employees perform better. So you could be that better performing employee. You could feel better about your life using Magic Mind. So magicmind.co. Use the promo code ARI. They're our longest running sponsor. They are delicious little energy shots that make you feel good. They are magic. Oh, I just realized how they got their name. I'm stupid. I'm really stupid. Magicmind.co. Use the coupon code ARI for a big discount. You're going to like the way it tastes. It's not that much money. It's cheaper than coffee, and it feels better. So let's get back to the show. Magicmind.co, coupon code ARI.
I knew 2 of those. Wow. But here's the thing about plugs.
Mm-hmm.
You get plugs, and look, I'm not against it, but, you know, Rogan's got the crazy scar on
But
the back of
that's
his neck.
old. That's like
old.
15-year-old surgery. They have a new system now.
I know, but what if you get plugs, so now you got permanent hair in your head, which is great, but then the other hair around it goes.
Then you got to get it again.
Oh,
you got to get a new set of plugs.
That's what kills me is the upkeep.
Yeah, there is upkeep. One of the people who I just named has gotten like 3 surgeries.
Whoa. Well, the last guy.
But his hair looks great.
Yeah, the last guy, his hair looks amazing.
Yeah.
And if he lost it, he would lose his career.
Maybe.
Let's be honest.
Maybe
Because it's
very
part
well
of who
could.
he is.
I think he'd be fine. I think he'd take like a little hit and then, I don't know.
I mean, he's so funny that he'd be fine, but
Yeah.
it would be part of his act, I think.
Do you think he would drop from theaters to comedy clubs if he lost his hair?
Probably not, but I bet he'd be a big hat guy. He would be like
Interesting.
trucker hat, you know,
Yeah.
David Spade kinda
yeah,
shit.
Interesting.
who also I bet has some stuff going on.
David Spade probably has plugs, yeah.
I had a meeting yesterday with like 8 agents. I was the only one with hair.
Did that make you feel good or bad?
It made me feel good, but it was also like, this is my future.
How old were you when you started comedy?
22, 23.
Okay, so at 22, 23, you feel like the young guy.
Yes.
Do you remember no longer being like the young comic, that feeling? Because it's
Definitely.
happening for me like within the last 2 years.
Yeah.
3 years. I'm like, oh, I'm kind of just a guy now.
You're just a guy.
Yeah.
You're in the 30s, but
Yeah,
you're also,
30.
I feel like you're going up with your success.
Yeah, I think I am
That's
a little.
the
Every
key.
year has been better than the last year.
That's all
So
you can do.
So it's small, but
A comedy career should go like this, like a Heil. You know, you don't want to go, because then it
Right.
comes right back down. I've
yeah,
seen it a
and
million
if you
times.
grow too fast, you don't have the community behind you. It's kind of like the
Yes.
military. If you
Mm.
jump to officer, I don't know if you even if you're into the military, but if you just
Sure.
if you go to
Al-Qaeda.
college, if I join the military right now, I could go in as an officer
Okay.
and I'd be higher ranked than people who've been in the military for 20 years. But if you
Ah.
go the NCO route and then become an officer, you get a lot more respect.
Right.
And I think it's the same in comedy. If you've grinded the streets of New York for 20 years and then you start selling out, oh yeah, he deserves it. He's great. But if you have a viral YouTube video and you're headlining, people talk shit.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
if you're funny. Because I know a girl right now who's headlining, selling out, hilarious, but didn't do stand-up for a long time. And people are shitting all over her.
Interesting. I don't see that ending well for her. I mean, congrats, mazel tov, but you got to do the work because then you get these opportunities and you're exposed.
Well, here's the thing. She still does other things besides stand-up, and her stand-up show, I actually think is really funny, but it's not the same, it's not like well-crafted.
Right,
but
right.
it's
That's what I'm talking
entertaining.
about.
Her fans love it. You know what
Okay.
I mean? It's just not, it's not the same.
Yeah. Like Jake Paul,
Yeah.
if we're talking jumping the line, he's
Wait,
doing.
he does stand-up?
Well, no, but the fight line.
Oh, yeah.
What he's
yeah.
doing in this fight YouTube world is pretty amazing, but I don't know how it's going to end.
Yeah. I mean, he's obviously making tons of money from it.
Yeah, that's the key.
When he went to was it the UFC fight he was in the audience of?
Yes.
And the whole audience was yelling, "Fuck Jake Paul."
Exactly.
I would cry if I know he's played up this villain character and
Yeah.
I think he's fine with it somehow. But if that were me, I would cry like that. I wouldn't be able to handle a stadium chanting "Fuck Ari Mannis."
I'd be the same way, but that's why we put the work in and do our time. He's a different beast, and he's maybe smarter than us because fuck Jake Paul means they know my name, they're
Yeah.
thinking about me, they
Yeah.
hate me. At least they're feeling something about me, and he's going,
Right.
yes.
Yeah, he's laughing all the way to the
That's
bank
a
from
win
that.
for him.
Yeah, you're
And that's
right.
what we got to realize. You get those haters on the Laugh Factory, fuck them. You're bothering people. That's a
Yeah.
good sign.
Yeah, that's true.
Obviously, you don't want that to be your whole career. You don't want to be
No.
like a pest, but
Yeah.
that's a good sign because hate and love, it's a fine line, and they're thinking about you. They're worried about you. There's something behind it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It takes a lot of energy and burning calories to hate somebody.
Yeah, you just want the hate to be what, like 5%. You want to keep the hate
Yeah.
category there, but small. And for me, it's about 40%. So I got to figure out how to shrink it down.
There you go.
Yeah,
But I
30,
mean, so many. I do these huge podcasts, and I read the comments because I'm a psycho. And these people are just.
You still read them.
I still read them.
Yeah.
I read a few this morning, and people still shit on the giant guy I'm on his podcast, and I'm like, oh, so there's no hope.
Oh,
you just
yeah.
gotta put it out of your mind,
Dude, if you go to the Joe Rogan fan group on Facebook,
Oh,
I'm
my
shamefully
God.
in that group.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many people. Rogan sucks now, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
yeah.
I'm like, leave them. Why are you
I
here?
know, that's what I'm saying.
You
They don't
fucking
leave.
loser.
They need it. They're like
Ugh.
the kids who live with their parents at 41. They're like, "Fuck you, mom!" And
I
they
know
slam the
it's
door.
cliche to say, but I'm like, I think these people are like, don't have a job, live with their
Yeah,
parents. They're
yeah.
like fat. I think a lot of them are kids.
Right.
I'm trying to imagine the type of person who leaves a negative YouTube comment. It's always that.
I
So my
saw
head
it when I
goes,
was younger. You see the same thing with like a new Batman or a new Marvel movie comes out and they go, they got the origin wrong. They fucked it up. That's not what it's supposed to be. They messed up the plot and this is fake and whatever. And you're like, so what? It's a fucking movie. Move on with
Yeah.
your life. But they're at the fucking first premiere showing. They got the toy, holding the toy, and you're like, you love it. You act like you hate it, but this is you. It's like a girlfriend. If a girlfriend's yelling at you, she likes you.
Really?
Yeah, and it's the same thing.
Oh, girls really like me.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Yeah, I'm killing it.
But if she's like, I thought you were gonna call, you didn't call. That's her. If you didn't call and she didn't like you, she'd be like, I'll go blow this other guy.
Good point.
So she cares, and they obviously care, and that's what people need to realize with the haters.
I think part of them are jealous because
Yes.
you're on paper being a comedian's cool. They don't realize it's not that cool, but
Yeah,
in their
yeah.
heads they're like, this guy's living the dream.
So true.
Fuck him.
Right.
Yeah,
That's my dream.
yeah.
That's a big part of the Elon Musk hate, I think.
Yeah, could be. Did you think of anything in your life that I could help you with?
Oh shit! Sorry.
and if
sorry.
you didn't, it's okay.
I'm sure I got a ton of things. Hold on. Something you could help me with. I'm not very connected with my parents, and I'm older than you, so they might die. So all my friends are like, you should probably connect. Also, maybe I want kids. I'm scared of marriage. My girl's pushing marriage pretty hard. I'm terrified.
I think it's time.
You
You
think?
got to grow up sometime, Mark.
I know. Segura said the same thing.
What are you, 35?
37.
37
I'm at the
years
back
old?
half.
You're already an old dad. A
Yeah.
little.
I know.
You're not like, oh wow, your dad was old, but you're getting there.
Yeah.
So if you want to have kids at some point,
Okay.
might as well do it now.
I can't say no. If I was a woman, I have a bit about it, I'd be the worst woman on the planet.
I want to adopt a kid. I don't even want to have a kid.
Whoa, that's cool. I
For
like
a few
that.
reasons. And I was on a date last night, and this came up, and she got legitimately upset at this. But I don't want my wife to have a baby because it'll ruin her perfect pussy.
That makes sense.
I know that's offensive to say, but I just want her body to be tight and youthful forever.
What about a C-section?
Scar.
Big scar.
Big scar. I mean, listen, it's not like I'm going to dump my wife if she has a baby, if that's what she wants to do,
Sure.
and I love her. But why not? Let's adopt. Let's make a test tube baby. Let's pay a surrogate mother.
Yeah.
You got a little money? Get a
Yeah.
surrogate mother.
And there's a lot of kids out there that are going nowhere. You know, like
There's a lot of kids that need to be adopted.
foster kids, yeah.
So that's
So-
my plan. I want to adopt the biggest black baby I could find and raise an athlete.
Yes. I think there was a movie about that.
Yeah, but they got
Amistad.
him when he was in like
Oh,
older.
okay.
I want to have the best athlete and get him the best coaches,
Yeah, the Tiger Woods method.
all that.
Good for you.
Is that racist?
Nah. I mean, black people are good at sports.
Yeah.
That's a compliment.
It's good racism.
Yeah. People only get mad when you say the truth. You know, when you go, fat is actually unhealthy, they're like, fuck yeah! And they're like, I'm just going off of the doctor guy.
Yeah.
Follow the science.
So you don't want to have a baby. We solved that. Have one. Don't be a bitch. Grow up.
Mhm.
Grow up.
Grow up.
Grow the fuck up,
That's
Mark.
good advice.
Have a baby. I'm
Grow
not
up.
babysitting for you though.
Okay. I don't want
Not
you to.
gonna do that. Yeah.
You'll take pictures of the kids.
Yeah, no. Steven Randolph, Chelsea Skidmore. Do you know them at all? They were
No.
comics from the door guys at the comic store. But
Who's the second one?
Chelsea Skidmore.
I've heard of her. I heard she's funny.
Yeah, she's funny. They called me one day to tell me that they never want me to babysit their kid. And I'm like, you could have said nothing.
That's sweet, though.
Yeah, you
They're
coulda-
thinking about you.
You could have just said, "Hey Ari, how are you?"
Yeah. But you don't have to babysit now.
What was the other thing you said besides?
Can't say no.
Oh yeah, you're here.
Exactly.
I've had a couple people who I'm like, if they're doing this podcast, they must have a hard time saying no.
And I like you, and I
Thank
think you're
you.
funny and all that, but like, this is early in the morning, man.
Yeah, but you were up. You were up
I was
anyway.
up with the hangover. I couldn't sleep, but
I got Dave Rubin to do this podcast.
whoa,
Do you know who he is?
Oh yeah,
He's a like big
the music guy.
No, Dave Rubin is.
I'm thinking of Rick Rubin.
He's kind of like Ben Shapiro, political figure.
Oh, the
but
gay guy.
Gay guy, yeah.
Wow,
Big
that's
political
exciting.
guy. Had
I'm
him
gonna
in
listen
here
to
once.
that one.
Yeah, and I had him in here, and I was like, "Why are you here?" I'm like, "Are you trying to fuck?" No, he wasn't trying to fuck me. He's married. He came with his husband. He's a nice guy,
I
but
think he's a little nutty, but I like his. I like how he's just doing his thing. He's like, I'm gonna tell the truth as I see it.
he's nutty. I guess in a similar sense that like Sam Tripoli is nutty.
Yeah.
Did you do his
Yeah.
podcast while you're here?
No,
Next time,
I'm a big
tinfoil
fan
hat.
of his.
Yeah,
He's a trip.
he's a fun one.
Triple E.
Yeah, he is. Dave Rubin. He didn't seem nutty in person.
Yeah.
Actually, he seemed very normal. I think he's labeled as nutty because he has no filter and speaks his mind.
Right.
His political views. Maybe I think that's nutty now. If you have no filter, you're
Ah,
nutty.
I think you're completely right because we
Yeah.
all have. If we all said what we actually thought onto a microphone, we'd all
You're
go to
nuts.
hell.
Yeah, that's what it is. He's not
Interesting.
nutty, but anyone who doesn't hold back is now labeled a nut.
Yeah,
People call me nutty,
really.
and I hold back a little bit.
I hold back a ton.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, thank God for comedy because you can kind of be honest, but just put a little zinger at the end and people
Right.
go with it.
Yeah. Do you think holding back causes cancer?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably causes hair loss and ED.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure.
I'm gonna play a voicemail we got.
Oh, we got one.
We got one.
Thank God. I was worried we weren't going to get one.
Sometimes I don't, but it's my fault, not yours. People, millennials don't.
Hey
leave
Ari,
voicemail.
my name's Gabe. I need help. Your help advertising my truck that I need to get rid of. It's taking up too much space at my mom's house.
Not really a
and
Mark
I need
Norman
to move
specific
it.
thing. Okay.
I get
I
it,
don't
though.
wanna
That's
scrap
you want
it
to talk about shit I'm bad at.
It's
Anything
worth
financial,
more
anything booking a
than what
flight.
I can help you with that.
get me.
Okay.
And so I want to settle it, but no one is calling about it.
Really?
So I
Craigslist,
think it might be an advertising issue. So if
eBay.
you can maybe help me pimp out my truck so I don't have to scrap it, or if you want to go ahead and buy it yourself, it's a 1990 Dodge Dakota Club
Ugh.
Cab.
Oh, nice. I actually want a truck.
So yeah, I'd appreciate any help you have on that. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, there's a few issues. So even on this voicemail, you tried to sell it to me. You didn't name the price. You didn't say how many miles are on it.
Good
You
point.
didn't tell me what color it was. So I imagine your Craigslist ad sucks. You got to take good pictures. You got to post all the stats. How many miles? Is it a clean title or salvaged? What color is it? I mean, if you have pictures, you don't need to say what color it is. But you get what I'm saying here. You didn't sell it very well.
Good point.
So that's the issue. If you have a truck on the internet, and I'll say if it's in any county and it's for a good enough deal, someone's going to call you and buy it.
Yes.
So maybe you have the price too high. Maybe you don't have any pictures. Maybe that. But you are doing something wrong because it's not. If you put a car for sale at a good price, you're not going to sit on it too long.
Yeah, well said. I'm a guy who's bought cars off the internet, so I think you're right. It's got to have all the information. That was very vague and
Very
a little
vague.
depressing, if I can be honest.
But yeah, send me the details. I actually kind of want a pickup truck.
Oh, a
Pickup-
90 though. That's pretty old.
Pickup trucks are cool because, okay, like BMW, maybe it's getting classic and cool at this point. But like, if you get a 90s BMW, you don't look that. What year is yours?
73.
So that's classic. That's kind of cool. But for example, if you got a 1990 BMW, it's kind of just a beater at this point.
It's a weird age.
Yeah,
'Cause it's not classic and it's not new. It's just kind of
yeah,
shitty.
you just have an old shitty BMW.
Yeah.
If you have a 1990 truck, oh, you got a truck. Cool.
Hmm.
A
How do you
truck.
mean?
Just trucks are, I think, in their own category. Like,
Oh.
there's not much of a difference between a 2010 truck and a 2020 truck. Like, if you have a brand new truck,
Good point.
people don't view you as a higher status. You're just, oh, you got a truck. That's
Right,
cool.
right.
A truck is a good kind of car for image. Well, if you care about your
Yes.
LA guy here, you're just kind of a truck guy rather
Yes.
than like, oh, nice Mercedes, nice
Right.
brand new car.
And a truck is cool in LA because no one has it. You're going the other way. You're
Mhm.
going, I'm actually different. Everybody's got the Jag and the Beamer and the Mercedes. You're going the other way. And I think that makes you pop.
Yeah, you don't want to, if you're not a flashy guy.
Right.
Like, even if I was rich, I don't personally wouldn't want to drive like a Porsche because I don't want to pull in a parking lot and someone knows I have money. I don't like that.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. And it's too on the nose. Rich guy gets a Porsche.
But then again, so Tony Hinchcliffe has a Corvette,
Uh
and I want to get his same Corvette but 1 year newer, just to pull in and be like, oh, nice car. Is that the 2018? Mine's the 2019.
Yeah, there you go. It's like betting $1 on Price
It
is Right.
would be
I'm gonna
fun to
one
do.
up you.
It would be fun to one up people.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Now teach me about. I can't.
Oh yeah.
Santino and I got into this big spat
Last night.
2 nights ago
2 nights.
because I did his pod and he was like, "How's the manager going?" I'm like, what are you gonna do? And he's like, "I fired mine." I'm like, "What?" He's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you
he
don't
told me
need
about that.
shit. Blah blah blah. They're taking 10% of your money, and I'm like, I can't do anything. And he said, "Grow up" and all this. So I gotta learn to, because I'll book a flight and I'll book it for the wrong date, and then the day comes and I'm like, oh, gotta get on the plane.
Doesn't I booked my own flight for Salt Lake, but wouldn't your manager book your flights for you?
Yes.
So why don't you just have them do it?
They do, but
they
I'm
do
saying
now.
that's why I have a manager, because I can't do it.
Yeah, I know. Like Theo doesn't have a manager now. Santino doesn't have a manager. There's a few big shots
Dylan.
that don't want to give up their 10%. But I think certain people need it who are less
Okay.
business oriented. Like all 3 of the names we just said are very
Savvy.
entrepreneurs. You could say
Yes, yes.
entrepreneurial. They all have these businesses. They're savvy.
I just think you save money with time. If I have a manager doing all those numbers and all those bookings and all those dates and all that shit, I'm focusing on other shit.
It also depends on your goals. Like, if you have any sort of ambitions whatsoever besides stand up,
Mm-hmm.
I think having a manager is helpful for that. They
Ah.
find you. If you're like, oh, I want to write a movie, they're gonna find you.
Right,
They're gonna
yes.
connect you with those people, especially because you're in New York and you don't have as many. Like maybe Santino probably knows a bunch of people like that,
Right.
but you don't.
Yeah.
So I
need
think-
that.
Yeah, I think it's different for everyone. I don't think you should get rid of your manager. Also, I got to open for you because of our manager, so don't get selfishly. No,
good
no.
point.
But I think it's different, and I think you should. Yeah, just focus on,
But
like
what
you
about-
said, be a New York guy. Focus on your jokes. Let these
Yeah.
other people help you.
But what about this angle? When they go, let's say you get $1 million for a special, you have to give them $100,000. That's a lot of cash for me getting a special.
You're right.
That's insane.
You're not wrong, but Don't be greedy. 900,000 is still a lot of money.
Yeah, that's why I love podcasts, because it's all us.
That's what I was gonna say though. Even that game is changing.
Oh no!
So now I see these new teams are trying to get a piece in on the podcasting. Now there's a podcast department of every agent and manager.
No!
Because I run this podcast studio and like influencers and stuff are writing. A lot of their managers are calling and booking it for them. So podcasting, which was like this indie,
Yes.
no
money in it.
no industry here. We're doing this on our own. This
Yeah.
is podcasting. Now there's networks taking
Oh,
percentages,
no.
agents, managers. The game is changing.
Well, I mean, look, Kevin Hart has a podcast.
Yeah.
You would have never thought
And
that.
I bet Chappelle has a podcast now.
No way.
Dave Chappelle
He
started
does?
a podcast. Yeah.
How did I miss that?
I don't know. It was on Deadline
I got to listen.
on Hollywood.
See?
Yeah.
That's how big he is.
I don't know if
gotta
it's
hear
out
that.
yet, but Chappelle's putting out a podcast. So everyone's doing it. And I bet you too, Chappelle's team is involved in the podcast.
Oh!
They're like, oh, yeah, we'll get you a publicist. We'll do this. They're getting in on it. So is that good? Is that going to make podcasting better or is that bad? I don't know.
Interesting.
Time will tell.
Interesting.
I think it's bad.
I think it's bad
because
too.
dealing with them, like I've already had to send people's podcasts to their managers, and their managers are like, "Can you cut this out? I don't like him saying
Oh!
that."
It's already not
So
art
there's
now.
going to be a filter.
There's a
gonna be
filter, it's
another
censored, and
filter.
now it's shit. If you bring
Mhm.
committee in, everything gets shittier in the art world.
Mhm.
And then we know a couple guys, I'm not going to say their name, but they do these kind of pay-per-view type live-y kind of
Yes.
live stream.
I was involved with one of them.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
were?
Mhm.
Those make so much money.
So much money.
And when they get a bite of that, or when they find out about that, they
Mhm.
are going to come down
the
hard.
one that I was in, his agent was involved.
Ah.
Yeah, and the companies that sell the tickets take a big cut of them too.
Ah.
But yeah, those things. So here's my new strategy. So I did it, and there was like a few technical difficulties. Overall, it went pretty smooth.
Hmm.
But of course, the haters are like, I'm paying
Of
money for this
course.
bullshit. I think the way to do that is you pretend to do it live.
Ah.
You pre-record it, and then you're like, we're live, and you really are just hitting play on a file, a pre-produced live show.
I like that idea, but I just worry that some dweeb out there would,
Find out?
will find out and tweet about it.
Yeah, they probably will.
Yeah.
But I think that's so maybe you admit to it. I don't know. I
they
think
found
that's
my
the mo-
address. They
It's-
can find that.
It's better, higher quality. Maybe
True.
It's giving people what they want.
I agree. I mean, it's like improv versus stand-up. We write it and work on it and hone it instead of just yelling shit out into the wind like a fucking indulgent cunt.
Last thing before I let you go, because I know you have a airplane to catch. Thanks for doing this before you leave.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
Are there any conspiracy theories that you actually believe in?
Not really. I don't think
No.
there's the kid blood with the adrenaline.
Was that a Pizzagate?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
believe that.
Yeah, I don't believe that either. Because that's
Uh,
gross. I wouldn't. If I was filthy rich and they told me, hey, if you eat children's blood, you'll live 10 years longer, I still wouldn't want to do it,
yeah.
personally.
I think Scientology's creepy. I think they get a secret and then hold it against you for 20 years. And
Have
bleed
you ever been to
dry.
the church here on
I
Sunset?
have, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
It's wild. I took a
Yeah.
photo and a guy yelled at me, which I know is like hack at this point that I had to
No.
get the Scientology photo, but he was like,
Yeah.
hey, get out of here. And he was wearing he looked like a Mormon.
They're nice, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, when they talk to you, they're like Mormons. They're really kind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's just so creepy. Something's up. Oh, look, I think there's weird, shady shit. Like, I think all the wag the dog stuff is true. Like,
What's that?
okay, Cuomo, it's a movie in the 90s about how fucked up the news is. Like, a friend of mine is a cop. I probably shouldn't say this, but it's hashtag Stop Asian Hate is big right now. So he said the day that lady got beat up on the sidewalk from that big black guy was like, there was like 12 other old people who got beat up, but that one was Asian. So the news ran it.
That makes sense. Of course, that's true.
So all
Yeah.
that shit I believe in. Like, the news is full of shit.
I don't even think
They're-
that's arguable.
Oh,
like,
okay.
there's so many videos of white people getting shot by cops. that
Yeah,
just
yeah.
No one's seen because unless you're a black guy, it's not going to make the front page of the news. There's
But-
no angle to spin with it.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
horrible. It's immoral and gross and hurting people and scaring people.
I think that's why a lot of people don't watch the news anymore, though, too. Like,
yeah.
it used to be everyone at night watched the news. If you were over 30 years old, you turned on the news.
Yes.
Now it's like maybe you read the headlines in the morning. Maybe you get your news from like a Ben Shapiro or some weird podcast or NPR podcast. But no one watches CNN anymore. No one watches Fox News. No one watches these things anymore.
I hope you're right. I mean, Tucker Carlson
And
gets
by no one,
crazy
I mean a
ratings.
lot less.
Okay. Because,
It used
yeah,
to
we
be
have
like
these outlets.
80% of America, a really
Yes.
high percentage. Now it's like maybe old people, maybe liberal cucks watch the news. A lot less people are watching the news.
Right. I love that their ratings went down with Trump when he left. I love that they plummeted.
Yeah.
I love that because I'm like, you've been lying to us. Fuck you. You're bad people. And then they lecture us on, we have to stop racism. Like, you're a piece of shit. And you're telling us what to do?
They're manipulating us. So I can't believe, though, that Twitter and Facebook and YouTube took Trump down off their platform because he had to have made them so much money. He had to get so many. I'm really shocked that they did that just from a business standpoint. I thought all they cared about was money.
Well, optics and perception is a big thing. I mean, how many fucked up weirdos do you know in this business who online are saints and do-gooders? And I'm like, I know you.
You said the N-word to me last night, and now you're on Twitter.
But it's perception. You got to be perceived as this holier-than-thou, good guy.
Yeah.
That's the name of the game, baby.
We got negative here at the end, but...
No, this was the best part.
It was. Yeah, we got real.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are thinking this and talking about it. You go to Omaha, and these are the conversations people are having.
Yeah, it's true. In every green room, we're having
every
these.
green room.
It's cancel culture. It's getting a little much, but it's what we think about.
It's always on your mind.
It's always on
That's
your
what
mind.
annoys me. It's not real. Cancel culture's not real. It's like, well, then why am I nervous constantly? Like, it's not this. I'm not worried. Like, I'm gonna get canceled, whatever that means, because cancel is such a vague, broad term.
Yeah,
I'm worried of just being yelled at, getting in trouble.
Yeah.
being called a racist, being called a homophobe.
for something that I'm worried about getting in trouble for something that isn't even bad.
That too.
Yeah, like that's my fear because I know I haven't done anything wrong.
Right.
So I'm worried about just
Somebody making something up.
make something up or turning something small into a bigger thing. than it is.
Right. Which is the most devious, cunty thing you can do, and they act like they're the good guys. That's what kills me. I'm like, you're the hero?
Like, you shouldn't have said that on that podcast if you didn't want to get in trouble. I'm like, I was joking around. It was a line. It was a throwaway thing. I don't care.
I'm a comedian. I'm
Yeah.
a fucking around guy. I don't know. And you've said horrible shit too. Yeah, I have, but I've evolved. I'm like, well,
I'm
how come you
worried-
can evolve? Why can I evolve?
I'm worried about a podcast from like 2012 I don't even remember. When I was like, no one listened.
Yeah.
I don't know what I said. I can't remember. I might have said something horrible.
Of course. So I was throwing the N-word around like crazy just because it was part of comedy. It was like a goof.
Yeah.
And then somebody, I'm sure, has those just ready. And then if I get an SNL or a Netflix or whatever, they're like, boop, send it.
You do 2 podcasts a week, right?
Yeah.
Let's plug your podcast. You do one with Sam Morril.
Yep.
Did I say his name right?
Yep.
Sam Morril, funny comic.
Jew.
Jew?
Oh, yeah.
I don't like him anymore. That's gross.
Big Jew.
Big Jew. More Jewish than me or less?
Well, you guys are both neck and neck on least Jewy Jews.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a big whiskey drinking, NBA loving kind of Manhattan.
A lot of Jews love
hard-boiled.
NBA.
That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
A lot of Jews like black culture a lot.
That's true.
I don't know why.
Well, it's your Tyler Durden.
What's that mean?
Like in Fight Club. That's what you want to be. You want to be the big dick slinging, dunking, cool guy.
Interesting.
I mean, is that
I'm not
obvious?
into the NBA.
Okay, but you
That
like
makes
hip
sense.
hop.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Mm,
Oh,
I
you
like
want
rock
a truck?
and roll.
Yeah.
I'm a guitar guy.
All right.
I like rock and roll. I don't like hip hop. I don't like
Again, not
NBA.
very Jewy.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
You want the truck. You like Trump. You
Mhm.
like. I guess Jews like Trump, but
yeah.
you have a gun.
Oh yeah.
That's not very
proud gun
Jewy.
owner. Yeah. But my name's Ari, so I can't escape it.
You can't escape it,
I
and
might
you don't
as well.
talk about it in your act, which is interesting.
Yeah. I just don't want to be. I don't want that to be my thing.
I get it.
Because also I do think there's, especially on the internet, I've noticed there is like anti-Semitism. And this sounds lame to say. It does exist in like
It
a
does.
subtle way.
It does.
It's not like, oh, I want to kill all the Jews. I don't think that, or it's not real anti-Semitism,
Mhm.
but there's this hint of it where they're like, I don't want to watch that guy. He's just like a Jewish guy. You know what I mean? People like watching.
Really?
People like watching what
That's
they
so
think is
weird.
cool.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know what I mean? And a Jewish guy isn't that cool. I don't know. Maybe I'm self-conscious about it, but I feel like the second you start incorporating, it's not a conscious decision. I just don't. I'm not religious, so I don't think about it or talk about it on stage.
Yeah.
But I do think that you start doing a 10-minute chunk of your act about being Jewish. Now all of a sudden there's gonna be people like, I don't want to hear about a guy being Jewish. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's probably some of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want to hear about a guy being Mormon either.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I think religion is dumb, no matter.
Although
which one.
our host talked about Mormonism, and I thought he was pretty funny.
He was funny, but
Yeah,
if that's your thing,
Right. If that
then
was
I'm
30
like,
minutes, then I'm like, calm down.
Yeah, same. So I think you're right. And I used to be like, these Jews always complain about it. Nobody gives a fuck. You're a white guy. Nobody cares. But I've met people as I get older who are like, fucking Jews, man. I'm like, really? And then I'm like, how'd you know I wasn't?
I see it in like, YouTube comments, even like for me, I don't talk about it while I am right now, but
Yeah.
overall I don't. And there will be comments like, "Oh, look at Ari's like the Jewiest guy." I'm like, what did I do? I didn't do anything.
Yeah,
What are you
right.
talking about? Like,
Oh, that's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, it's also just a different thing. It sets you apart, because
Mhm.
there's like 6% of Jews in America. But
Yeah.
I went to a
But not
Catholic
in this
school.
business.
Not in this business
Yeah.
or this city. But I went to a Catholic school, and there was one Jewish guy. He was our friend, and of
That's
course
how
it was
I
like,
was the only Jewish guy in my high school. Yeah.
"Hey, what are you thinking, Jew? What's up, Jew?" And it's just because if he was black, it would have been that. If he was Asian, it would have been that. If he was gay, it would have been that. And it just put you differently. So we had
Yeah.
a thing. You had a thing.
Yeah.
I had curly hair, curly, dickless, whatever. It's everything makes you got to hone in on something.
Mm-hmm.
That's
You're
all
right.
it is.
Yes. Okay. So podcast Sam Morril, and then you do another podcast with Joe List.
Yes.
Which podcast is your favorite? Which is your least favorite?
I will
No, they're both
say the Joe List one is like my baby. I've done Tuesdays with Stories for 8 years.
That's a long time.
long time.
I learned that about you in Salt Lake. I was like, wow, okay, you were kind of ahead of the game a little bit.
A little. It was all him. And again, it's also sad when you hear about some guy in LA who started one and he's famous now with this podcast and I'm driving a Ferrari and we're like scraping by.
It's picking up though. It's
It's
starting to
picking
pick
up.
up. People
Finally.
watch it.
Finally.
Oh, when you after we did our first weekend together in Des Moines, you gave me a thank you for the shout out on your podcast at the end. You were like, "Oh, I was with this kid Ari." Got like 10 DMs. Oh, Mark
Oh.
Norman gave you a shout out. So
Oh,
people
great.
are listening.
Okay.
Yeah.
People are listening. And then Sam's is awesome because it's like we both are getting a little more successful. And so we came out together with this thing and it's already cooking. So
Oh, nice.
they're both great in different ways. And I love them both. And they're both great comics
Cool.
and gay.
Who would you say like should listen to one or the other? Or should everyone just check out both?
The me and Joe List one is like rapid fire, trying to be funny, trying to be inappropriate, saying horrible, goofy
I like that.
element.
Oh, that sounds like the one for me.
Immature. It's
Oh,
fun.
that's
and
for me.
puns and slurs and all this shit. And the whole point is just, an hour of just straight hammering jokes. And then the Sam one is like cocktails, shooting the shit. It's a hang. We discuss everything, but it's more laid back.
Got it. More like this a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
more
yeah.
conversational.
Yes, exactly. Just two old
both
pals
sound
living in New
good.
York drinking whiskey.
It depends on your mood then.
Yes.
If you want to laugh and say the N-word, Joe List.
Right.
And if you want to just sit back and chill with your wife and listen to people funnier than you so you can get her all wet and then take her back to the bedroom and just do your thing, then maybe you and Sam.
There you go. There you go.
Sam's hotter too.
He's a hot guy. He's 6'3". He's got eyebrows.
If you want to get your woman wet, watch the Sam Morril one. And if you're with the guys and you want to have a little giggle,
Yeah.
then Joe List. That's cool.
There you
You're
go.
smart.
We
Have something
hit
for
both.
everyone.
We got the Marx Brothers. It's like a Marx Brothers movie of just like wackiness with that one, and then the other one is more like like Coming to America. Just like a good comedy.
Yeah, I think that's if you want your girlfriend to love you, send her our podcast because they'll laugh, but they know that they can't have us. We're unattainable.
Yes.
We're hot guys. And then she's going to be so happy she's with you and you have this good sense of humor.
I used to get annoyed with guys who are like, I can't bring my girl to a comedy show and have her laugh at some dude. I want to fuck her, And I'm like, look at this idiot. And I brought my gal to a Mulaney show, my old girlfriend.
And then he fucked her?
Well, she was into it. She was like, man, he's so cute and he's so funny. You should do that stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
I don't like bringing girls to my shows because what if they see me bomb?
Yes.
That like seeing you kill is very attractive. Seeing you bomb, unattractive.
Very unattractive.
And I do bomb sometimes. And then the second thing is then she's going to realize that I do the same jokes more than once.
Yes.
And then she's like, what do you mean? Like,
yeah,
this is your job?
I know.
This is easy. You did this last
Yeah.
time.
I thought you were funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I'm totally. Even the wait staff, I'm like, they hear this again.
Right.
I feel completely.
Yeah, when you do a
seen.
weekend, so you're doing like 8 shows and the waitstaff has heard your set 8 times, I'm always like, yeah, sorry. But everyone does it. They're used to
Everyone
it.
does it. But I
Yeah.
was at a club once and I saw the waitress walking away from the stage, mouthing the bits. And I was like, not mine, but some other guy.
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
like, oh, I knew it. I knew they hated us.
Oh, like the local feature who's done the set
Yeah,
way
yeah.
more than 8 times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that
been
killed
there.
me. She had it dead on with the timing and the punch. It was brutal. Yeah, and that's what we do. I mean, you got to hone an act, you got to craft an act, so you have to repeat it. It's like a take, take 2, take 3, take 4. But
No one knows.
no one
no
knows.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Our biggest insecurities.
What's weird is you get the guy who goes, dude, I saw you Saturday. It was so cool. I'm coming to the Sunday show. You're
Oh
like,
my
no, it's
gosh.
the same thing. Don't come
That
back.
is so weird to me. I'm
I
always
know.
like, it's the same. They're like, I don't care. I loved it. I'm going to see it again. I'm like, okay, don't sit in the front, please.
Please don't sit in the
Yeah,
front, and I will see how bored you are.
Yeah, yeah.
Always, they say it every time, but they come and they go, all right, this sucks. I'm like,
no, I disagree. I think the
Okay.
people that come for the second time usually are happy and they know it and they're excited to see. A lot of them have told me they love seeing, or maybe with me, I don't know with you, they love seeing other people watch me for the first time. They're like,
interesting.
oh, how are they going to react to that
Right.
joke that I like? You know?
Yeah, that's always great when you come to watch the other people. But whatever.
I
I'll take
hate
it.
when someone I know or even just have met when I could spot them in the crowd.
Oh,
I want strangers.
Nightmare.
My parents, every time I'm in San Diego, can we come to your show? And every time, nope, no, you cannot. My mom's like,
Good.
What can I do to watch your show? I'm like, get me on Conan and you can come.
That's smart because she'll never get you on Conan.
Yeah.
Yeah, the parent thing is hell. The old friend from high school is hell. The girl you used to fuck is hell. It's all bad.
It's all bad.
We just want to kill and not be exposed as frauds.
I feel like I could just, if there's no one I know there, I'm somehow looser
Same.
and could goof around more. I just don't care. And if someone's there, then I'm like, I got to do my best shit.
Yep.
They got to see me kill.
These bringer guys, these guys like, I got to have 10 friends there. Or I freak out. I'm like, I don't want friends there.
Totally. My first few times, I would not tell anyone
Same.
I did. I do not understand the bringer mentality at all.
Same. And we moved cities. You grew up in San Diego. I grew up in New Orleans. So like going to New York was like, I'll never see someone I know.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
These are all
100%.
strangers. I love strangers.
I think the people who do bringers are, for the most part, like cool and popular people.
Yeah.
That's why. So it's a different mindset.
Yeah, you're like, you got 10 friends who A, will support you, and B, pay and laugh.
Yeah.
I don't have those. My friends would come and throw shit at me.
Do they have bringer shows in New York?
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
I never did one. Who do I know?
I got tricked into one,
Mm.
but I because I listened to Rogan's podcast, I knew what they were and I knew to avoid them.
There you go. Good for you. Because also it's fake. Like, they're your friends that are not going to let you bomb.
Right.
So you're not
or
even
if you
getting...
do, it feels even worse. Imagine
yeah.
bombing in front of all your friends. Oh my God.
Kill yourself or quit.
Thank you for doing the podcast. Is there anything you want to say or plug?
Yeah, check out my special. Thanks for having me. Praise Allah and Kids in Cages.
You're for kids in cages?
Well, if they're bad.
Smart.
Yeah, it's jail. Basically jail.
Yeah, you're right.
You know,
All right, thanks.
big part of our country. Thank you.
Oh, I'm
Comedy.
glad I don't have to give you a ride to the airport. I thought I was.
You're listening to
Unlicensed
Unlicensed Therapy with Ari Mannis.
There you have it. You made it to the end of Unlicensed Therapy. Mark Norman, if you're wondering how I got him on the podcast, I was featuring for him in Salt Lake City. We have the same management company, and we got along pretty well. He told me he was coming to LA to do podcasts and stand-up, and I had the courage. I said, hey, while you're in town, if you have time, will you do my podcast? He said yes. Still thought in my mind, okay, he's going to cancel. I'm insecure. He's not going to make time to do my little rinky-dink show. He did it. So thank you, Mark Norman, for doing it. I also wanted to give a shout out to my 2 YouTube members. That's right. Some people wouldn't want to share that they have 2 members. I have 2 right now. I don't really advertise it that much. It's new, whatever. I'm not going to make excuses. Thank you, Cubenzi Frenzy and AIM. Thank you for signing up and supporting my YouTube channel. If there are any perks you want me to do for you guys, let me know, and I will do it. And hopefully we could get more members. But AIM and Cubenzi Frenzy, you know how to contact me. Hit me up if there's a little bonus you want per week, and I will do it for you. I also wanted to read my Apple Podcast reviews. I get an update now that tells me if there's any new Apple Podcast reviews. So if you haven't left one already, leave one. It helps my numbers, and I will read it if it's a good review, like this one. New reviews for the week. Subject, Ari is one of the funniest comics I've ever seen. 5 stars. Thank you so much. Podcast is always entertaining and funny, and at the same time, sort of soothing to listen to. ... Enjoy. Peace sign. By Shake Maker via Apple Podcasts from Great Britain. Thank you so much, Shake Maker. That is too kind. I'm bad at taking compliments, but thank you for saying I'm very funny and that you enjoy the podcast. And thank you, more importantly, for leaving that review. I hope others will start leaving them and that we can grow and I could get little therapy patients to all support me, and hopefully we could all laugh together and learn about each other and touch each other. Really, when I see you guys, I hope that we can just embrace one another, and maybe I'll rub your back and you could rub my back. Just things like that. Maybe a little arm massage. I could go for a little head scratch. Oh boy. Yeah. Thank you guys. And we will see you next week. I have like 5 podcasts in the can right now. I don't even know who I'm going to put out next week. I know Mark Norman's today. I don't even know who I want to do yet. I have like all these great podcasts in the can. It feels good. I'm ahead of the curve a little bit. I need to get ahead on editing now. Anyways, I'm done spilling. Go to arimannis.com if you want my merch. And if not, I'll see you next week right here back at the YouTube or Apple Podcasts or Spotify or however the fuck you listen. God bless you.